John, congratulations. The chain of events around three-quarter time where Buddy does his hammy, there's that goal that bounces through on the siren, Sinclair knocks himself out. How do you win from there?
Yeah, I don't think probably over the last probably 6 weeks we've finished with 22 fit players. It's happened a lot, and not only one player, a couple of players. And so trying to manage that when you haven't got a runner is a bit of a challenge, but when we haven't got any option but to work through.
I think Blakey in that last quarter was just sensational, and he's not fading at all for a young player in his first season in the last quarter to put on a performance like that.
Yeah, he was fantastic in that last term. You know, he's a first-year player, and so to a number of our players when they have been able to show they've got that fight in them in the last quarter when we're down on rotations, and we've been challenged, as I said, a number of times this year with that. It's been incredible. The last game it was 3 after half time, and today there was a couple that couldn't come back on, and experienced players are able to grind through and push through, but a bloke who hasn't even done a full pre-season to be able to do it and run and move and contribute, he's got a great head on his shoulders.
What do you know about Lance's hammy so far?
Just that it's a hamstring, so that's what it is. We'll have to get it scanned and get it looked at, but it's obviously going to be a few weeks.
Given how long he was out with it already, does that mean it's like a more conservative approach, or do you know what to do?
It's hard to know. I can't see where it is. If it's in the same spot, it's just impossible to know at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is worse though than the one earlier in the year?
I just said it feels like it's in a different spot, but we don't know. I mean, there's no point speculating until we actually have a look at it and find out. And it was obviously bad. I think he felt it when he came back on, and I think it was about 8 minutes off the ground and came back on, and we couldn't get anyone off.
He seemed frustrated that he couldn't get back on, John. Given his history, was he thinking that way, like, I need to get back on before I cool down?
I mean, we couldn't get a runner. You can't get a runner out there. And so even if we wanted him on, I mean, believe me, we want him on. But when there's a long time in play before a goal's kicked, you can't actually get him off now. Players are watching it, young players are watching it. Maybe we could have looked over our shoulder and got off, and we're trying to call out from the bench, but you can't actually do anything. And so I don't know whether that contributed or not, and no one will ever know.
What's he feeling like? He spoke after the game, said he's obviously had a frustrating year, but kicked goals against the Eagles, looked back to his bet, kicked fourth tonight, looked up and about. Yeah, look, he's he's a champion player, we know that. He had no pre-season, which has hurt him. I mean, there's the players that have really improved. Generally, it's an old saying, when you have a good pre-season, you have a good season, and look back on their, why have I played well? Well, I've had a solid pre-season. Blokes like Jordan Dawson and that are able to improve, they're off the back of a good pre-season, and a number of our players weren't able to get that through operations and things, and Lance didn't get going before the start of the season, so just before the start, so he wasn't able to get that conditioning level under his belt. But we can't do anything about it now. You just have to wait and see how this rehab is and get him back going again.
In terms of the context of the season, John, do you feel like you're back in the race?
Well, it's not so much. We just want to play good, consistent footy, which we feel like we've done for about 6 weeks now, and we haven't won all those games, but we feel like we're playing a good consistent bit of footy, and we're contributing across the board a good weight of numbers, and that's making a difference. So that's all we're focusing on at the moment, is just playing that sort of footy we want to play.
Tom Papley, again, was outstanding tonight. He's becoming one of the best in the game in his role, isn't he?
Yeah, he's another one. Once again, he had the first time he's had a pre-season this year since he's been at the club, and so he was able to get himself really fit and have a consistent injury-free pre-season, and he's carried that form into the season. He's a very good player. He's a very, very good quality small forward, which are very, very valuable players.